Most men spend their lives chasing love. But what if love is chasing them? Not as salvation, but as a trap. For centuries, we've romanticized love as the answer to all things: fulfillment, purpose, meaning. We're taught that to love and be loved is the highest human achievement. But Arthur Schopenhauer disagreed. According to him, love isn't a noble force. It's not divine. It's not even emotional. It's biological warfare. In his brutally honest philosophy, love is not about your happiness. It's about nature's agenda: reproduction, survival, and control. Schopenhauer believed that men are wired to fall in love not because of soulmates, but because evolution needs them to. You feel butterflies in your stomach? That's your DNA whispering. Make sure the species survives. Romantic love, in his eyes, is a mask. A beautiful illusion designed to make men forget they're pawns in a deeper biological game. And worst of all, most men still don't see it. They give everything: time, energy, money, their soul, chasing a promise that was never real to begin with. And who benefits from this illusion? According to Schopenhauer, women do. Not out of malice, not even consciously, but instinctively. Women, in his framework, are nature's chosen gatekeepers. They manipulate relationships not because they're cruel, but because their biology demands survival at all costs. Emotions are tools. Tears become weapons. Romance becomes negotiation. And the average man? He walks blindly into it, thinking he's found love, when in fact, he's entered a transaction. But there's a way out. It begins not with rage, not with blame, but with awareness. Schopenhauer didn't hate women. He hated illusions. He believed that men must wake up from the romantic dream if they ever want to experience truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable. So in this video, we go deep into the mechanics of romantic manipulation, into the traps of idealization, into the painful honesty that leads to liberation. And by the end of this journey, you'll see love not as the answer, but as the question you never dared to ask.
Schopenhauer once wrote, "Man is the only animal who is discontent with sex, yet driven mad by it. To him, desire was not pleasure. It was pain in disguise, a fire that never rests, a trap disguised as hope. And in that trap, woman was the bait." He believed nature equipped women with the illusion of innocence to manipulate the male mind, without their own conscious intent. It wasn't a moral accusation. It was a mechanical description. Beauty, in his eyes, was a biological weapon, one that activated the most irrational parts of a man's brain. When a man saw beauty, he didn't see reality. He saw a projection of his desires, needs, and imagined salvation. But what he was really seeing was biological programming. The eyes, designed to appear larger and more vulnerable. The voice, softer to signal submissiveness. The waist-to-hip ratio, an unconscious indicator of fertility. All of it, a system, an equation, one that bypasses logic and hijacks the will. Schopenhauer argued that man is enslaved not by woman, but by his own instincts. Woman is only the mirror, a beautifully decorated mirror, reflecting the chains you never knew were already on you. This is why, in Schopenhauer's mind, romance is not liberation, it's captivity with perfume. It feels like freedom, it smells like love, but it's biology at war with reason. And here's the part most men never realize. What feels like a divine connection may just be a trick of evolution. Schopenhauer didn't see woman as a person first. He saw her as a concept. Not a soul, a symbol. To him, woman wasn't just a human being. She was the embodiment of illusion, the curve that seduces the eye, the voice that masks intent, the softness that dulls the mind. Not by her fault, but by her function. Woman, he wrote, was not built for truth, but for appearance. This wasn't hatred, it was despair. a despair rooted in the belief that men seek truth but chase beauty, that we are wired to worship what deceives us and ignore what frees us. And that's why, in his view, man is not betrayed by woman. He is betrayed by his own hunger, for her softness, her scent, her smile. What if woman is not cruel, but simply the mirror of male delusion? Nietzsche took this idea further. He called woman a necessary illusion, a force that keeps man grounded in the physical world, in weakness, in dependence. She is the earth to his fire, the anchor to his storm. And yet, she is also the temptation that drags him back into the very chaos he tries to escape. To desire her is to kneel to biology. To love her is to surrender to suffering. So why do men keep falling? Because the illusion is stronger than the truth. Because beauty doesn't ask for logic. It commands instinct. And instinct doesn't care if it destroys you. Nietzsche once said, "Whenever I climb to the peak of truth, I find a woman waiting to pull me down." To him, woman wasn't evil, she was interruption. She was the smile that broke the philosopher's concentration, the body that bent reason, the voice that distorted logic. Not because she intended it, but because she embodied the force that truth fears most, desire. Truth is sharp, brutal, cold. But woman, Nietzsche believed, was soft, persuasive, disarming. Where truth wounds, she soothes. Where truth isolates, she connects. And that, he believed, made her more dangerous than a lie. Because the lie is obvious. But the illusion of comfort? That's subtle. And men fall for it every time. Nietzsche didn't hate women. He feared what they represented, the temptation to stop seeking truth because the illusion was prettier. He warned that many men abandon their higher purpose for the comfort of feminine presence. They trade evolution for affection, freedom for approval, depth for softness. And yet the paradox remains. Men need beauty to feel alive, but beauty keeps them from becoming who they're meant to be. So what is woman? Enemy? Savior? Illusion? Nietzsche's answer was brutal. She is neither. She is the test. All this time, you thought it was about her. Her beauty. Her mystery. Her power to distract, seduce, pull you away from purpose. But what if the real danger was always inside you? Schopenhauer and Nietzsche didn't just describe woman. They described man's reaction to her. The problem was never the feminine. It was the masculine weakness disguised as romance. It wasn't her softness that broke you. It was your hunger for it. It wasn't her mystery that distracted you. It was your refusal to face your own emptiness. You weren't deceived by her. You were deceived by your own longing. Every time you chased her, gave her your focus, your energy, your soul, it wasn't love. It was surrender to your inner void. She was never your captor. She was the test, a mirror. She reflected everything you didn't want to see, your dependency, your need for validation, your fantasy that a woman could complete you. And this is the turning point. She didn't destroy your purpose. You gave it away for a kiss, a glance, a warm night. The enemy was never feminine. It was the part of you that couldn't stand being alone. That's what Schopenhauer feared. That man would build a philosophy of strength, then trade it all for the illusion of comfort. So now the question isn't, why did she pull you down? It's, why were you so easy to pull? Maybe this isn't about her at all. Maybe it never was. Maybe it was always about you, and what you're willing to give up just to feel wanted. Now that you've seen the illusion, the pattern, the power of projection. The trap that feels like love. You have a choice. Not about her, about yourself. You can go back to the sweet lies, back to calling pain passion, back to mistaking attention for love, or you can wake up. You can stop chasing what was never real. You can stop sacrificing your mind for a moment of body. You can stop begging for the warmth that melts your strength. And here's the truth. She doesn't need saving. You do. From your fantasies, from your fears, from the part of you that thinks weakness is romantic. So if something in this video made you uncomfortable, if it forced you to look at yourself in a way you've never dared before, then don't look away now. This space, this channel, is for those ready to go deeper, not just into her mind, but into yours. Subscribe, not because it helps the algorithm, but because you're done running. She'll never say it. Not because she doesn't want to, but because she doesn't know how. She'll never tell you that every test, every push, every silence wasn't about you failing. It was about her fear. Fear of being seen. Fear of being abandoned. Fear that if you saw the real her, you'd run, just like all the others did. She won't tell you that when she pulls away, she's not playing a game. She's watching. She's waiting to see if you'll chase, or leave, or break. And when you do, it confirms everything she already believes. That men don't stay. That love is bait. That trust is suicide. So she smiles, and says nothing, and pretends she never needed you anyway. But here's what she'll never admit. She was hoping you'd see through it. That you'd stay. That you'd pass the test not with words, but with stillness. That you'd face her storm, and not run. She'll never say it out loud, but maybe deep down she wanted you to be the man who could love her through the fire. And maybe, just maybe, you still can. But only if you stop seeing her as a goddess and start seeing her as a mirror that shows you every flaw, every weakness, every wound, and still gives you the chance to choose love, not as fantasy, but as responsibility. That's the truth she'll never say. But now that you've heard it here, you never needed her to say it.